Hello, my name is Rick Perry. I have a website, rickcperry.com, which is a web blog where I talk about pro audio and some of the things that I do. So today's little project is going to be replacing the antennas on the Sennheiser EW300 in-ear monitors. So today it is a snowy day outside. This is day one of the big snowstorm. We have a fire in the fireplace and a fresh cup of coffee. So I figured today was a really good day to change the antennas. So I've already changed one, and at first I wasn't even going to make a video, and I said, you know, this ought to be a pretty good video. You do have to desolder and solder to get the antenna on, but it's really not that big of a deal. You can see this one looks pretty rough. So I'm going to show you how to replace that antenna, which is very easy. Alright. Okay, I got it set up. So let me see if I can get behind the camera here and show you close up here. Let's see. Alright, we're going to take the pack, and right in here is a pin. Okay, first let's take the batteries out, and this is a Torx. I don't know what size it is. Looks like a T6 or something, I believe it is. So anyway, I'm going to take our, push that in. And there's a little lock right there that releases it. You can pull this out, pull the battery door off. And then on the back you got 4 screws that you got to take loose. Put them into the little battery tray. This last screw didn't want to come all the way out. There we go. Okay, so pull the back cover off, and this is what you have. Now, here's the part that gets a little tricky. See this little ribbon cable? See if I can try to zoom in here. Whoa! This little lock, you got to pull this downward before you pull this ribbon out. And you'll notice the ribbon is all the way up against this board here. So, pull it down with your finger or a little screwdriver. You get that down, the little ribbon cable will pull right out. See it down all the way? Now the little ribbon will come right out. It's easier to pull out when you pull the board out. Now, these 2 screws here are machine screws, and this one is it's like a plastic style screw, a self-tapper. So this one is different than these other 2. And you can tell because this one that I'm taking out has machine screws on it. Machine thread, excuse me. That will look a little bit different than the other 2. This is the oddball, which this screw I'm taking out is basically the same kind of threads that are on the cover, because these threads go into the metal instead of like a little machine nut. Okay, so now this lifts right out, and since we got this disconnected, this ribbon should pull right out just like that, and this is what we want. So now we need to desolder this from the board and solder the new antenna on. So I'm going to try to zoom in on the table while I do this, but if you're not able to see what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to take the needle nose pliers and get right up under here where the metal part of the antenna, and I'm going to get the solder hot, and I'm going to just pull the antenna from the board. Then I'm going to get the solder sucker, and I'm going to heat it up and suck the solder out of the hole, push the new antenna in place. I'm going to put a drop of solder on the soldering iron and just touch it to it, and it'll flow right in. So now let me see. See how much of that I can get. A little helping hand tool here. Let me check the camera angle. Not wanting to focus too well on that. Alright, let's just roll with that and see how that works. I like to apply a little solder to tin the tip of the soldering iron. Let's see, now that might not be sturdy enough. See how well that works. Okay, pulled that off. You want minimal amount of heat on this board because you can actually separate the trace from the circuit board. So now we'll solder for transfer. I don't know if you can see or not, but that hole is completely through now. So now we'll take our new antenna, and I'm going to list where I got these from here in just a few minutes. And the antenna has a little step in it, so it's kind of it will self-position itself. You don't have to worry about putting it in too far. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. There you have it. Alright, so now we reassemble. Let me see what our camera angle is. Not a very good close-up, because of the way the lighting is right now. So now we should be able to take this and back this up just a little bit. And our ribbon cable. Be very careful with this cable. There we go. See if you can see that. Push it up in there and then push the lock in. Now we're going to seat the board back in place. There we go. Okay, now we'll put the screws back in. So now we will find our machine screws and our regular case screw. So our case screw will go in here. Just like so. Again, I apologize for the not being able to zoom very well. We're here alone. And that machine screw is going into a machine nut, not a self-tapped case or the aluminum case. Alright. So I got those in place, snug. Snug that one. Snug that one. So now that part is put together. So we get the back. Put that in place. Now we need our 4 case screws. Oops, trying to come out of there. And you should be able to run these screws almost all the way in before you feel any tension. If you start feeling tension right off the bat, then you're probably cross-threading it. This is the second pack that I've done so far, and most of them are going in really well. Just be mindful that, you know, if it's real tough starting out and you just keep forcing it, you're going to break the screw off, and then you'll have some problems. Okay, so now you have this little pivot piece that has to go in, and it can be a little difficult. I'm going to snap the cover on. When it's sticking about this far, give it a little twist and it'll stick out about 1/8 of an inch. Then you can push it the rest of the way. And when it's flush on both sides, then you're done. You can reinstall the batteries. Turn the pack on. There you go. All done. Now, the antennas that I found are hard to find online. There's a whole bag full of them. I've got an A band and some C bands in here. And the guy I found it from on eBay was, what is that? Toast Tight Emporium. So there's the eBay store that I found. I think I paid $6 a piece for these, and it was fast shipping. He combined shipping, so it's a real good guy to buy from. So look him up. I've got one more pack to do, but I'm not going to put you through that. I'll do this off camera. So there's 2 packs already done. Here are the antennas. And both of these packs still worked. The antennas just look rough. This one did not work. So I don't know if it's necessarily something with the pack or what. But I'm going to replace the antenna and we'll just try it and see if it works. Okay, I wanted to check something right quick. On this first pack that I've done, when you turn it on, you see that the green light came on. So it is picking something up. So the second pack that I done, in the video when I turned it on, the light didn't come on. Well, that's probably okay because nothing is sending on that frequency. So what I did was I actually went in here and I changed the tune, and this one is set to 744-600, so I actually went down to 744-600, and then I got the light on. So that's the same frequency this one's on. So I hit escape. So before I repaired this one, this said no good. Had this tag on. Well, you saw the tag. I wanted to do the same thing, so I took this pack and I tuned it to 744. Let's see, 744-600, just like this one's set. (744-600), and I don't have the RF light on. So now what I'm going to do, both of them are tuned to the same frequency, is I'm going to replace the antenna and see. I almost got something just then. So I'm going to replace the antenna and see if the light comes on. That will tell me if that helps. So and I'll probably change the batteries in it too while we're at it. So anyway, let me change this out. I'm not going to bore you with the changing. I'll be right back with this antenna replaced. Okay, we're back, and you see that both of them are on 600 set, and now this one still does not have the light on. So there may be something wrong with this pack. It was listed, it said that it didn't work, so we're going to take it in and try it out. But I'm pretty sure that this one's probably got something else wrong with it, because they're on identical frequencies and they're not acting the same. So anyway, I wanted to point that out, that that light had kind of threw me for a loop. So anyway, this pack may be going back to them, but it's got a nice brand new antenna on it. So once again, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, then subscribe to my channel, come to my website, rickcperry.com, and I appreciate it.